Good evening and welcome to a brief edition of the news. Official military sources at the Jordan Armed Forces, the Arab Army, said 3 Syrian Air Force missiles fell on Jordanian territory near Jaber border crossing, causing no casualties or damage. The sources said 2 of the Syrian Air Force missiles targeting rebel groups in Syria fell near a civil defense building close to Jaber border crossing, and the 3rd fell near the road leading from Jaber to Ramtha. One of the missiles caused a small fire to erupt. According to the military sources, it was handled by the relevant authorities. In Syria, meanwhile, the government dismissed a report by the International Chemical Weapons Watchdog stating that sarin was used in the April 4th attack in the northern town of Khan Sheikhoun. The government said the report on the banned nerve agent lacked any credibility. In a statement, the Syrian Foreign Ministry said the fact-finding team had based its report on the testimonies offered by terrorists in Turkey. Although denied by the Syrian government, the attack prompted a U.S. airstrike. Meanwhile, a commander in the Syrian Kurdish YPG militia said the YPG aims to liberate areas between Azaz and Jarablus held by Turkey-backed Syrian rebels, adding that Turkey is regarded as an occupying force in the area. According to the Syrian Observatory of Human Rights, Ankara sent new military reinforcements to prepare an attack on areas near Azaz. To Iraq, more districts in western Mosul's old city have been liberated today from Daesh terrorists. The Nineveh Operations Command declared that federal police troops freed Bab Jadid and Souq al-Arbi'a regions and gained control on the Iron Bridge in the old city. The federal police also announced the liberation of Al-Shifa district. The final and total liberation of Mosul, according to the Counter-Terrorism Service Commander, could be achieved within a few days. The biggest victory for the Iraqi army in Mosul was the recapture of the Grand Al-Nouri Mosque, taken by the group 3 years ago. However, the 850-year-old mosque and its leaning minaret is now little more than a pile of stones at the center of a shattered city. And while the mosque survived conquests by the Mongols and the Ottomans, air raids during the Iran-Iraq War, and the U.S. invasion, under Daesh, the 45-meter Al-Hadba minaret has been reduced to a stump, with the green dome, the only part of the prayer hall, still standing. In Yemen, the spread of the cholera outbreak has become unprecedented as the epidemic nears its 250,000 suspected cases. A WHO representative to Yemen said 1,500 deaths were reported between April 27th and June 30th of this year, adding that nearly 2 million children are too thin with just bones, making it very difficult for them to survive and lead a good life. With funding from the World Bank, WHO is setting up treatment centers with 50 to 60 beds each, overseen by shifts of about 14 staff working around the clock. The aim is to reach 5,000 beds in total. The European Union's Commissioner for Migration, Dimitris Avramopoulos, said the bloc is willing to help ease the pressure for Italy, who has appealed to the EU for help in taking in African migrants. This came after Italy raised the possibility of closing its ports to humanitarian rescue ships and said Europe cannot turn its back to the problem. Since 2014, Italy has brought in over 500,000 boats migrants, over 180,000 of whom came last year, with the number of arrivals up by 14% this year. The EU said it is ready to provide substantial financial support and would discuss the issue in an interior ministers' meeting in Estonia next week. World leaders paid tribute to former German Chancellor Helmut Kohl, the architect of German reunification and the driving force for European integration. Leaders from the United States, Russia, Israel, and across Europe remembered Kohl at a memorial ceremony at the European Parliament as a dedicated European who abhorred war. Kohl passed away on June 16th at the age of 87. The 2-hour memorial symbolized the role Kohl played in the reconciliation of erstwhile enemies France and Germany, while driving European integration forward.
So sleep well, my friends. The greatest gift you left us is the lessons that the thing that matters most in life is what we leave our children. The freedom, the peace, the security. To build their own prosperity, to chase their own dreams, and to believe that they can be very big while lifting up, not tearing down. You did a good job with your life. And those of us who shared it loved you for it.
Chinese President Xi Jinping swore in Hong Kong's new leader with a stark warning that Beijing will not tolerate any challenge to its authority in the divided city. The swearing ceremony. And football superstar Messi has tied the knot. Some of the biggest names in world of football gathered in Argentina to see Barcelona striker Messi wed his longtime girlfriend Antonella Roccuzzo. Luis Suarez, Jordi Alba, Angel Di Maria, Mascherano, Neymar, Piqué and wife Shakira Fabregas and Sergio Aguero were among the many who turned out. Hundreds of police were drafted in to provide security for the event in Rosario, the city where Messi grew up before heading to Barcelona and becoming a star. And finally, hot and dry conditions are expected to continue as the kingdom remains under the effect of a hot air mass accompanied by a seasonal depression. A further rise in temperature is expected for the next couple of days, soaring to 5 to 6 degrees above seasonal average. Temperatures in Amman tomorrow are expected to reach 38 degrees Celsius. Similar hot conditions prevail in the Badia, the Dead Sea and the Jordan Valley, while further south in the Gulf of Aqaba, mercury levels will register a high of 44 degrees. With this, we come to the end of our news in brief. I'm Dana Abu Sham. Thanks for watching and have a good night.